Coach, just talking about, first of all, a little bit of a season review and starting the guys' side. You had a lot of seniors coming in, and of course you got the contributions from a lot of the usual suspects. Blake was really great in singles. Blake and Rui were a great tandem in doubles, but how Roma came along and really sparked this rotation as well.
Yeah, Roma was the difference maker. I mean, Blake had a great year across the board from the fall to the spring. Roma didn't really have any kind of a fall, but the difference he made in the spring was huge, and I think he might have won at least 3 or 4 deciding matches. So he played a big role in the success of this program and the fact that we're the number 3 seed in the tournament this year.
What was it that you saw that was kind of the change in Roma from the fall to the spring that made him so effective, or was it just more of a confidence thing?
Look, I think he was tired, he was burned out. And I had a conversation with him one day. I just basically pulled him out and I told him, you would do me you'd do me a huge favor by letting me know if you're committed or uncommitted. And I sat down with him and I told him, look, this is the last hurrah for you. This is it. After this, you'll be done for the rest of your life. I don't know if you might play in a club situation, but you'll never be competing for anything. And we spoke. And all of a sudden, the next day, he's out here warming up, practicing. It was a complete turnaround, a 360. I'm sure, he sat down and he thought about it, and it's what I said to the players. I said, you'll never compete, the seniors. You won't compete for anything anymore after this unless you play professionally or unless you play in a very competitive club situation. So take advantage of this opportunity. You guys are capable. You guys are good. You just have to believe in what you're doing, and you'll get the job done.
And talking about now looking forward to the conference tournament for the guys, and the doubles pairings first. When we know Rui and Blake, they've been solid. They've been a great tandem together. But you've tried to kind of play around with the other combinations as well at 1 and 3, and how you feel about the doubles pairings going into this weekend.
It's still going to be a crapshoot, just because, look, the most consistent team is Rui and Blake. We know that. We had some success with Roma and Giacomo at the number 3 position. So we put them back together. With Timo, he's had 3 to 4 different partners. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked at the number 1 spot. We went back, I looked at the book, and I thought, you know what, if we're going to have any success there, let me switch it up, and I put Gonzalo back in with Timo, and this is the second time they'll be playing together. So hopefully they all come to play, and that doubles point will be huge when we play Lamar.
And talking about Lamar and maybe the advantages of having seen them the last match of the regular season and then turning right back around and facing the same opponent to open up the tournament.
I think it favors us. I mean, if you look at what happened last year when we played Corpus, we played them right before the championships, and they lost, and they lost pretty easily, and then they came back and played them in the semis of the championships, and guess what? All the matches went down to the wire. I mean, they were sweating it out. They didn't think about, the coach came back and he said, this is not the same team we played last week. And I think it's going to be a fair assessment to say that about Lamar. I think they recognize the fact that either way, whether we're going to beat them or we're going to lose to them, we're still going to play them again next week. And I think, I'm pretty sure they'll be ready to go this time around.
And this is a conference on the guys' side that obviously doesn't have a lot of teams, but the teams that are in there are really strong and really competitive, and it starts at the top of Corpus.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look at Corpus. They've dominated this conference for the last 7 years or 8. They're always ranked in the top 50 or so. Then you have Nichols, and you have Lamar, and you have Incarnate Word. These are good tennis schools. So there's no one that we take for granted. I mean, there's, whether you play Incarnate Word, you play Abilene, you still have to be ready. You still have to show up to play. So that's what I tell my players every single day, that we're not taking anyone for granted.